Man accused of shooting and killing a former Orlando Magic player is getting ready to go before a judge for the first time since his arrest.
It comes as we're learning more from deputies about what happened in the moments after the deadly shooting. We first brought you this story as breaking news yesterday when deputies arrested 29-year-old Lawrence Doherty in the death of Adreian Payne. News 6's Ezzy Castro is following the latest on the investigation.
According to this arrest affidavit, suspect Lawrence Doherty went back to his home to grab a gun before he allegedly shot Adreian Payne. He says he was, quote, intimidated by his size. News 6 learning new details about the shooting death of former Orlando Magic player Adreian Payne. Records by the Orange County Sheriff's Office shows suspected shooter 29-year-old Lawrence Doherty called 911 after the shooting and said, quote, he acted like he got a gun and I shot him. I ran inside my house and I shot him. The whole thing happened at the Econ Landing Townhome community on Egret Shores Drive around 1:30 yesterday morning. During an interview with detectives, Doherty said he saw the shape of a gun on Payne's shirt and described being intimidated due to his size. Though records showed Payne did not have a gun and nothing was found in his car.
What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Alex. Shout out to the Elite Fleet and make sure you like and subscribe so you can become a member of the Elite Fleet. And today we got to talk about Adreian Payne and why you need to stay out of women's domestic violence issues. Guys, you cannot and should not protect all women, okay? And RIP. 31 years old, very unfortunate, okay? Very untimely that this young man died, but we can learn a lot from this situation. First of all, you do not protect all women, especially when it comes to a domestic violence dispute. Fellas, stay out of women's domestic violence disputes, okay? Because you never really know what's going on there. And at the end of the day, I tell you guys this all the time. Whenever women tell you she's being abused or she's in a domestic violence situation, you have to ask her, who is the abuser? Now, we all know women have accountability issues, so the likelihood she's going to tell you, especially if she wants you to defend her or attack this man, that she started it or she hit him first or they do this all the time, is slim to none. So the question that you have to ask to figure out whether or not she might be in real turmoil or whether or not she's just injected you in her situation is there a police report? That's question number one. If there is no police report, you have to assume that this woman's just toxic. That's just what she does, and she just likes creating these types of situations. Some women love drama, guys. Some women start fights just so they can have makeup sex. You gotta understand these types of things happen. Why would there be no police report if you were being domestically abused? Cops will arrest a man for blowing on a woman or flicking her too hard in the forehead. So you think a woman is getting abused and she would call the police and they would do nothing? That's not gonna happen. If she's not calling the police, chances are it's because she's toxic too, or because she initiated these things. I told you guys before, 70% of domestic violence disputes are initiated by the woman. As a matter of fact, if you look in the same-sex relationships, the ratio of domestic violence in same-sex relationships are actually higher than heterosexual relationships. Lesbian couples have more domestic violence disputes than heterosexual couples actually have. So you guys can't just go out here and downplay the fact that the woman may be starting all this. And at the end of the day, even if she is in a situation where she's emotionally abused or mentally abused or broken down to the point where she actually is just being abused and she's afraid to call the police for whatever reason, maybe he threatened he was going to kill her or whatever the case may be, at the end of the day, you're not a cop. You're not a therapist. You're not even her family. So what exactly are you going to do to help that situation? The answer is nothing. You can't do anything to help that situation. In this case, it's even worse because this wasn't even any situation related to him. This was actually his girlfriend's friend who was in the dispute, and she called his girlfriend to mediate it. Now, his girlfriend brought him. Now, why did she bring him? We don't know. He was in the driver's seat, so there's the chance that she might have just brought him to give her a ride. But I'm thinking because he's 6'10", 244 pounds, she probably brought him to be intimidation because she said she's been called to mediate their disputes before. So she's probably thinking, okay, my friend's arguing with her boyfriend again. They always do this. This time I'm going to bring my man and it will probably scare him. Problem is, her having that mindset actually made the situation worse because you're damn right. You brought your man and he did scare him. Scare him so much that he went into the house, got a gun, and shot him dead. Now, let me tell you guys something, okay? First of all, we know this dude's lying, talking about I thought he had a gun. If someone had a gun and they said that they were going to shoot you, why would they let you walk into the house, come back out of the house, run up on them, pull out your gun, and shoot them? Of course the cops didn't find a gun on Adreian because Adreian didn't have no gun. You guys got to also realize something. The vast majority of men who beat women are bands, and if you don't know what a band is, it's a bitch ass nigga. You have to understand this. So if you're going to involve yourself in a domestic dispute, okay, let's assume this was your sister or your mother or your niece or something like that, right? You always have to come with the blicky or at least a knife or a bat or something, because you have to assume it's not going to be a fair fight, because you have to assume that this guy is probably a pussy. Now, a lot of the time, this is going to be a bad boy. One of the most dangerous things in the world is a bad boy, a Latin king, a mafia dude, a crip or a gang member, anything like that who also happens to be a pussy, because these dudes will shoot you on nothing. Just like that, just like this guy did. Just because you're bigger than them, just because you're stronger than them, just because you look like you could beat them up. So you definitely have to come with the blicky and come being strapped if you're going to jump in there. But now y'all want to be Superman and act like Batman on the gargoyle, like you just going to jump down there and do damage. No, never do that. Never do that. So she thinking she intimidating somebody, and she inadvertently got her boyfriend killed when her friend shouldn't even been calling her friend to mediate this. She should have never been calling Adrian's girlfriend to mediate this, because again, this is that toxicity. She doesn't really want anything to happen to the man, or she would have called the police. This is just toxicity. This is drama. She's getting off to that. Let me tell you guys something. You do not protect all women. This is the exact list and order of women you protect. If it is not your mother, if it is not your sister, if it is not your wife, your girlfriend, or your nieces, you leave it alone. I know some of y'all might be thinking, well, what about Auntie? Look, Auntie got her own man. Auntie got to call the cops. Auntie got to call her son. She got to call somebody that's not you. Cousins, you stay out of that. Friends, you stay out of that. Random people on the streets, you stay out of that. I'm sorry, it's cold-blooded. And let me push it even further. If it's your sister, okay, or it's your girlfriend, so it's not your mom, it's not your daughter, it's not your, I forgot daughters in the first one. Of course, daughters are important too. But it's not your mom, it's not your daughter, it's not your nieces, okay? It's not your wife. You gotta understand, if it's a girlfriend or a sister, if you're not there to witness it, they're gonna have to give you that same explanation. Well, why haven't you called the cops? They gotta break this same thing down, because you gotta understand, this is life or death, guys. These are grown men. We weigh like 200 plus pounds. We bench 200 plus pounds. We squat 400 plus pounds. We can kill each other in one blow. This is not something to play with. Dudes are strapped, they got guns, they got knives. You can't just be involving yourself in women's toxic drama, because women know nothing's going to happen to them. For the most part, they can't be touched, so they'll play these games. You can't play these games as a grown man. You got to treat your life like you have something to live for. So you have to make sure your girlfriend or your sister wasn't instigating this fight. She didn't start this fight. She didn't prolong this fight. That she took measures besides you, like calling the police. Again, if a woman gets blown on by a man, the cops will put them under the jail. So you have to always question why you're calling me instead of the police on someone who's supposedly abusing you or making you feel like they would abuse you. That's what the cops are for. Call the cops. That's what we pay that taxpayer money for. Why are you putting my life in jeopardy? You should be concerned with my life as well. You guys gotta understand that. So even if it's a sister or a girlfriend, it's not a wife, it's not a daughter, it's not your nieces or anything like that, then you have to run them through the same questions that I was saying earlier, where you gotta ask, well, who's the abuser here? Well, who started this? Because you got to understand, women think this is a game. They think it's funny. Like I said, they will start stuff just to have makeup sex. They will start stuff just to put some drama in their life. Women need emotional outbursts and stuff. All right, not all of them, but a lot of them are toxic and they need that. So you have to protect yourself as a man and make sure you're not defending someone or jumping into a situation that wasn't even that serious. Because once you come with that force, once you come with that energy, now there's a real threat. When men clash, it's like an explosion. It's like a nuke going off, and you can't play with that. You have to be very serious like that. So I know the trend right now is protect all women, and men should come to the defense of women. No. You have to be very careful and select about who you give your protection and provision to. Yes, we are protectors, okay? And we always will be. And it is our natural instinct to protect a woman. You see a woman crying, you want to wipe her tears. I could walk by a random woman and see her crying, and I got a strong urge just because of my biology to ask her, yo, what's wrong? Are you good? Like, are you straight? Just like when a woman sees a person passed out, or if a woman sees a person bleeding, it could be a woman you don't even know. She'll come and try to stop the bleeding. She'll come and ask you if you're okay. She'll take care of you if you're sick, because their natural need is to nurture, just like our natural need is to protect. But you have to realize we're in a crazy world. We're in a wild world. A lot of people have nothing to live for. A lot of people have nothing to lose, and they will kill you. So you have to protect yourself. You have to move smart at all times. You got to consider yourself a king on a chessboard. And you have to play your pieces in the right order, the right way. You cannot just be unwillingly or unmitigantly, without all the facts of a case, jumping into a situation, trying to play Superman, trying to play Batman, jumping off of gargoyles, okay? Because at the end of the day, you coming down doing the superhero landing, and he got the blicky right there. He's going to pop you before you hit the ground. So RIP to Mr. Adreian Payne, fellas. If you don't take nothing else from this, take what I said. If it is not your mother, sister, niece, daughter, wife, or girlfriend, leave it alone. Don't even interject yourself into it. Let the police handle it. Let her go get therapy. Let her go get somebody else to help her out with her issues. I am Alex, and I am out. Peace.